Speaking of home values, what do you guys think by the end of the year, what are we going to be up? 10%, 20%, 100%? Where do you think we'll end the year?
Year to date?
Yeah, year to date, calendar year. January, where do you think we'll end up by the end of the year?
Well, my opinion, especially on the HAR statistics, one thing I got to look at is how this. You ever hear the term, you can make up 70% of the statistics, 80% of people know that. So one of the things that I'm looking at the statistics in the HAR report is that right now the median home value is $411,000, and the average. The median was $376,000 in September. So why is that? Is it just because things cost more? Well, also there's nothing to sell below $300,000. So all your average prices are reflecting these higher value sales. So I think that you're going to end up creeping that back up. And I don't see a sharp increase, but it may return back to 420 because in about June, it was about 426. So I think you're going to end up in the averages, still in the low fours. And I think your medians are going to end up anywhere from 350 to 380.
Okay. When last year it was like 300.
Right.
It's cost of waiting, and it was 50 G's. It's kind of wild when you think about it.
$50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kathryn?
I'll talk in terms of percentages. So I think at the end of August, we were up 18% in the Houston area. We're now heading into the normal seasonal decline, which lasts through the end of the year. So I'm going to say 18%.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend to know as much as these guys up here when it comes to the exact metrics. But overall, I know, kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, people say, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait, right? I'm gonna wait for that big drop. I'm gonna wait for when it crashes." I think the conditions of the market means that what flooded the market with supply in 2008 is not going to happen again, right? You're not going to get this massive flood of these foreclosures, just going wild. And so I think, honestly, we're going to see, a little bit of a dip, but if that, especially in the Houston market, so I don't think we're going to see anything crazy.
What I'm seeing is a slight dip to when everything was at its highest this summer. So just general research, the house in my neighborhood at its very highest, the highest sold house that went, of course, me being a neighbor, super excited. I'm like, I can get that for my house. They had the couple that bought it, overpaid, right? Highest bid. I've lost out on every house. So we're going in big, won it. For whatever reason, they've had to put it back on the market this last month, and they're listing it for what they bought it, and it's sitting there. It's going on 30 days.
When did they close on it?
June,
So what do you think? This is actually a good exercise. So what were interest rates in June?
They were definitely a point lower.
Yeah, I think
a point and a half.
I think prime was at 4.25 in June, so I think they're probably 5.5.
5.5.
And now we're in the sevens.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see if they have to take a discount. Of course, the other problem is, where do you live? I always forget.
Over by Northwest Vintage Park.
Okay.
By Kathryn.
We call that, okay. You live in breeder country.
I'm a burb.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, I think, typically our little neighborhood is about a 7% seasonal drop. Once the kids are back in school, prices drop 7%. And then as we get towards the end of the school year, they jump back up.
Yeah, they jump back up. So it'll be interesting when breeder country, it shuts down. There are certain neighborhoods, it's specifically in Cypress and Tomball, where it's like day one school starts, don't even bother to listen to house. Just don't even bother because it goes completely dormant, right? But it'll be interesting, that 5.5% versus that 7% interest. What you could do the math, see how much the principal would have to be reduced by where those things would be equal, right? Mm-hmm. But in any case, so